What's up my loves, my name is Paige, this is Pages with Paige, and today we're talking through all the readathons that are happening in March. So in March I have 23 readathons that I want to talk about, and usual disclaimers, this is at the time of filming, which is on Monday the 27th of February at 12:30 Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time, and you will be seeing this tomorrow morning at 6 AM, so there is the potential that once will be released, but I am going to be trying to do a quick turnaround in editing and scheduling it, as I have a lot of stuff that I need to get done today. So that's the first. If there are any others, they will probably go into the playlist, but they don't always, just because I'm not keeping a track of it once I make this resource. This is as many as I could find. It's probably not a comprehensive list, and it is only based on YouTube videos. I don't do ones that are from Twitter or blog posts, just because I don't have the resources to be able to do that easily. But with that, if you want to share any down below that are on other platforms or Instagram as well, feel free. And sometimes these do have a crossover with a Bookstagram account, but predominantly YouTube ones. If you have any that you want to let us know about down below that I haven't talked about, feel free. Second is that the creator that I talk about is where I found it, so their announcement video. It might not be the creator of the readathon, usually it will be a co-host at least, but their video will point you in the direction of who you need to go and look at. And then third, I have created a playlist, the spreadsheet, as well as linking all of them in the description box below, so please utilize it. It's there for your perusal, and I always feel like I'm forgetting a disclaimer, but that's it. We go for shortest duration through to the longest, and there is one that I do want to shout out for February because they are a small channel and they posted their video on the 2nd of Feb, so I didn't catch it until I was actually going and looking for the March readathons. So that is Ink Bunny, and it is the Black Mystery and Thriller readathon. So I just wanted to shout them out because they're a smaller channel. I know that their readathon will be over by the time this video is up, and or close to, but I just wanted to be able to mention them because I do want to promote smaller channels. All right, and with that, let's talk about our shortest through to our longest readathons. Oh, and I don't go into a lot of detail, there we go. I don't go into a lot of detail about these readathons because I have created this playlist and the spreadsheets with a bit of information on it. So if you want to find out more, please feel free just to click on their video and watch it and give them the watch time that they deserve. The first one that we have is a 24-hour going from the 3rd to the 4th, and that's the Let's Get Graphic Readathon, which I found on Ponytail and Paperbacks channel. This is 24 hours of reading graphic novel, manga and comics, or any of those illustrated works. There are 3 reading prompts and then 2 Instagram prompts if you would like to do those. And then we dive into our week and a week and a day, and the first is running from the 5th to the 11th, and that is Mini Spooktober, and this is from Reading with Raylane's channel, and this is a week of reading spooky thriller, mystery, horror books. There are 5 prompts, but you don't have to do them if you don't want to. Then we have 2 running from the 12th to the 18th, the first being the Backlist Readathon, which I found on Asparagus' Readings channel, and this is reading your backlist books, so anything that is backlist for them is anything that hasn't been published this year, and clearing off your shelves, whether that be digital, audio, or physical. There are 6 prompts to complete, but number 5 is the co-host's prompt choice, so it varies depending on which co-host you choose. So if you don't want to go with the video that I've linked you to, there are other options and you can search for those as well. Then the other one is My Bloody Valentine Part 2 readathon, which is on Pretty and Paper Cuts channel. There are 4 prompts which are based off the 1981 film. You can double up and there is flexibility to what the prompts actually mean and your interpretations of them. Their video gives heaps of examples of how you could interpret it. Also, for most readathons, they have explicitly said you can do, if I say double and triple up, that means you can do whatever you want. It's not just double or triple up, you can go further. Usually I will specify if there is a cap or something that is in place, but for most of these, it is you can do whatever you want. You can double, triple, quadruple, keep going as much as you want. 1 book for all prompts. Like, they're very chilled this month, it's great. Then from the 12th to the 19th, so a week and a day, there's a week of weird reading event, which I found on Fiber Artsy's channel. So this is weird fiction, which tends to be a subgenre of the larger speculative fiction genre, and it's thinking about the world around them in dark, spooky, weird ways. And I really found this an interesting concept. There are 5 prompts to complete. Then we have running from the 19th to the 25th, the Squash That series, which I found found on Is Bailey Reading's channel. So it's a tiered system, and depending on what number book it is in the series is the number of points that you will gain. There are exceptions to middle grade series that you're further in, so most of them are doing the Magic Treehouse and they're up to like book 42. That would defeat the purpose, so it counts as 1 point, I think, or a half point, I can't remember. So for me, like, I'm on book 40 something of the Animal series, so I won't be counting that as 42 points. And basically if you get 15 points that or more, that is the top tier, and you've completed the readathon in its entirety. Then running from the 20th to the 26th is the Retro Reads Readathon, which is created by Creating & Co. Creating & Co is a sticker company that gives a bit more creativity to your planner in relations to reading, and they do yearly challenges, seasonal challenges, and they also do readathons as well that have matching sticker sets to pop in your planner if you would like. You can just do the prompts without getting the stickers, but it's a whole community and they're wonderful there. So there are 5 prompts for that readathon as well. Then we have one 2-week readathon running from the 6th to the 19th, and that's Galaxyathon, which is created by The Brightside Girl. And basically this is just a reading party of space themed books. There are reading challenges that you can double up with, Instagram challenges, and a US giveaway. And then I don't know how many month-long readathons, but we've got a fuck ton. 15 month longs. So the first is the Irish Readathon, which is created by Leanne Rose, and the goal is to read more Irish books than you normally would. Where if you do read just one Irish book, you've participated. There are prompts available and a group book. Then we have Marvelathon, which is created by Lisa Does Life. There are 2 teams, the OG and the new gen. It's points based, and the team prompt can only be used once, whereas the general prompts can be repeated and doubled up to work how you need it to. Then we have the Roll of Reads Readathon, which is created by one of my bookish besties, a book fiend named Mel, and I love them dearly. So this is based off Mel's previous TBR game, Roll of Reads, where you would have a board of 20 cards, you roll a d20, you pick the card up and see what the prompt is and fulfill it that way. There are additional things like rolling a 1 will add a roll, and rolling a number 3 times will also add an extra roll. You can roll a d8 to pick your number of books, that's how Mel does it, but I've incorporated it into my TBR game and just did 5 rolls and picked out prompts based on what happened in my TBR game, so you can sort of adapt it as long as you're keeping the prompts the same. For this year, she has included new prompts based off her new TBR game, TBR campaign, and so that's like D&D classes. And she also has a giveaway running with information on how to gain bonus entries. Then we have Spring Into Readathon, which is created by Completely Melanie. And this is a bingo board based setup, spring themed prompts. They have an author chat and an after hours chat, and honestly, hearing who the authors are just keeps stepping up their game, and so I would definitely check out who the author is because they are very popular on BookTok and BookTube. Then we have the Final Book Support Group, which is created by Steph Loves, and this is a camp cabin themed. So there are 4 camp cabins that you can pick, each with 6 prompts per cabin, and it's all sort of based in the same way, meaning like the first prompt, main prompt, is read a final book. That is the goal for this, is a month long, read a final book, and then the next ones can be dependent on what you need, but there is the encouragement to read those final books. So the next prompt is like a generator of some description, so I think there's emoji, number, color, and letter, and then so on and so forth. So it's thematic across the 4 cabins, and it's just, I love what she comes up with. Then there's the March Into Madness I found on the Beach Bum Bookworm, and the goal is to read mysteries, but there are prompts to follow if you would like the guidance, all based around spring cleaning. Then we have Middle Grade March, which I found on the Curly Readers channel, reading middle grade books. There are 5 prompts in a group book, but if you read 1 middle grade, you've participated in the readathon, and there is also merch available. There's also merch for Final Book Support Group. Then we have Casino, which is from Dark Roots Creation, and the prompts are all based off the movie Casino, as it's one of their favorites, and Lee has also explained how to make them a little bit flexible. Then we have Manga March Madness, which I found on Amy Reads' channel, and the goal is to read a manga a day in March. Illustrations count, graphic novels, webtoons, it doesn't just have to be manga, but to read one every day in March. Then we have March Through Your TBR by the Paginator, and that's to knock some titles off your TBR, whether that be audio, digital, or physical. You can complete 1, you can complete all 12, and you can double up triple up, just do what you need to. Then we have Historiathon, which I found on Literally Smitten's channel. There's a group read, 9 prompts in a bingo board. You can double or triple up, and the goal is to read fiction and non-fiction about women from history. So they need to be someone that has existed. Then we have March Through History by Arg Schooling, and this is, the theme is women in history. So there are 25 prompts in the bingo board, and you can either do a blackout or a row of 5, and again, all based around women in history. Then we have March of the Mammoths, which I found on Big Owl Books, and the goal is to attempt to read an 800-page or more book throughout the month. It doesn't matter if you don't complete it, but just attempting to make progress. For some, they take on 1, other people take on a few and just see how much they can get through in the month. Then we have the Tropical Readathon, where there are team-based groups. There are only 2 team challenges, which will be influenced by what team you're on. Otherwise, it's just a trope. There are 13 common challenges based off tropes, but there's also an alternate prompt. And then there are 2 team books. One is a new release and one is backlist. And then finally, we have Tour.comathon, which is hosted by beautifully bookish Bethany. And this year it is tour titles rather than just tour.com. It's a very diverse bingo board, as is tour. It has a group read, but it's not necessary. You can double up, triple up, whatever you'd like. It is very, very fun, and I highly recommend it. Checking out their titles and participating in all of these readathons. So, super quick because my battery's dying and I need to go places. So I apologize. Check the links, everything, just go other resources. I have given you information, now run with it. My child's be free. And with that, let me know in the comments if there are any you're thinking of participating in. I am so excited. Obviously I'm participating in Roll of Reads, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, to be able to get through Spring into Readathon as well. Let me know if any take your fancy in the comments down below. And if you like this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of this mess, feel free to subscribe. I'll hopefully see you in my next video. Bye!